So today we are happy to welcome you to Module 2, which is the debrief on the history and the research that we provided you during Module 1. We had asked, and I don't know if you had a chance to or not, but we had asked for you to read this article right here if you had a chance, or even if not, if you during today's module debrief, you can reflect on just the information that we gave you. I'm not sure if you had time to really get in depth with that article and just kind of review what we shared during module 1. But we wanted you to kind of take a look at that and explore more if you had a chance. Did any of you have a chance, by the way, to do that? Explore this article a little bit more?
I got like halfway through.
Okay. Okay. So just even if it's based on what we talked about at our last module and just kind of reflection pieces that you were thinking about, or maybe even questions that you just have now based on what we shared last. And then I'm not sure if you had a chance to explore the master plan and just kind of see a little bit more in depth what information you can find in there, specific information, so that we can go ahead and share out for today. So today what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to have you guys in breakout rooms just to kind of have a reflection conversation. One of you will be the facilitator who's going to be in charge of keeping track of time and making sure that everyone contributes to the conversation. One of you will be the recorder, the person that's going to go ahead and type into the slide that I'll show you in just a second. And then one of you will be the speaker. And I put a 2-minute time limit here, but honestly, because it's just one group, if it goes a little over, that's okay. Last time we talked about incorporating some of the edu protocols within our PDs so that you guys can see some of the edu protocols and how they can be used. The one that we're going to use today during this breakout session is it's called Brainstorm Edu Protocol. And I'm going to tweak the Brainstorm Edu Protocol just because of our particular purpose. We're going to call it a brain dump because you already have the input that came in through our PD last time. And then if you had a chance to look at the master plan at some point and the article, you're going to be brain dumping. Normally this Edu Protocol, the Brainstorm Edu Protocol, for example, let's say you're doing an opinion essay, and you just shared out information about anything in history and you want to get their perspective and their opinions on it. You would have a slide, if you're in a group of 4, you would have a slide with 4 columns, and each member of the group is going to share their opinion about that thing. Or it could be, where do you want to go for a virtual field trip next? And so each person is going to have their voice in their particular column of the group. The reason is because normally when we're in the classroom and we say, where do you guys want to go on a virtual field trip? It's going to be one outspoken person or the same outspoken people that share the information, while the quiet ones just sit back and let everybody else kind of do the work. So this Brainstorm Edu Protocol gives everyone a voice and a moment to kind of reflect and record theirs so that every group member is seeing their opinion as well before bringing it to the group and sharing that out. What we're going to do today is we're calling this a Brain Dump Edu Protocol. And you're going to have, I'll put you in group 1, okay, breakout group 1. And you're going to, all of you are going to brain dump. It's fine if you want to color code who's saying what or whatever, just so that we know that everyone had participated in this. But you're going to give your ahas or good to knows about the information that was shared in module 1 or from your further exploration of the resources, something that you're curious about or that you wonder about, and then maybe a question that you have or that came up during your reflection time, or something that you're just like, I just need to know this right now. And so this is where you're going to document. Okay. So I'm going to go, does anybody have any questions? Do you guys have access to this slide? So whoever's the recorder will be able to access it.
We can drop the link. I'll drop the link right now.
I have it if you want. I could recorder.
Okay. Look at that. I already have one roll done. So we're going to give you 5 minutes, but we'll check in on you. And if you need us at any point, you can go ahead and click. What does it say, Adriana, when they have a question?
The little question mark, and it says ask for help, and then it'll let us know.
Okay.
All right, here we go. See you in a bit, ladies. All right.
Hello, ladies. Welcome back. Whoever you guys wanted to read, go for it.
We just talked about how just the timing was harder to finish the whole document. You know, it's a lengthy one, but really important one as well. And just from what we read, we felt that it was really helpful and useful. And for me, at least, it made huge connections to the first module that we learned with you guys. And I mean, we mostly just got really in depth with, you know, how Gisela's experience has been so far. And so that was really helpful for our, you know, reflection as well. Just how the school implements the same curriculum, but you have to also be on the lookout for things that don't translate maybe exactly the way that they should. And then just always kind of helping students kind of go back to the second language, right? Just if you're teaching it in Spanish, then just making sure you let them know that in English, this is what that word might be. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of rambling back and forth. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's perfect.
Yeah, we talked about how, like, in my classroom, we started building like cognate chart tables, you know, of like, and it then started, of course, you know, until it ended, I started thinking this would be great. Like the last month before we have to like black out our walls, like all these, you know, not all of them, like a word wall, but for a dual classroom, you know, these cognates, how they transfer over, you know, and they can easily see, you know, and then making sure they also are aware of the ones that do not translate over, you know. That was a huge ha-ha for me this year. It's like, oh, duh, you know, I mean, that's easier route. That way you take care of a big chunk, you
right?
Know, address the ones that don't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really neat. So something to do next year.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's huge. Even just ELD in general, in a non-DLI class, that the cognates and having the English learners making that connection definitely helps in getting them to grasp the information a little bit better, because they're making those connections, you know, when they see it, they kind of, I mean, same reason why we teach the roots and affixes and suffixes and things like that, you know, so definitely.
And
I'm very sorry, Nareb. I'm very interested to find out. Crystal had mentioned like she left off in the most. I bet that's probably the most interesting part to read would be like the instructional strategies. You know, I think that could be very, very important to what we're doing in the classes with DLI to align with the best strategies or what's proven to be the best, you know, protocol.
It absolutely does. I mean, it talks about more in depth about just what you guys have been doing with the whole 95% anyway, with teaching the phonemic awareness and the phonics, the way that you guys have been doing it lately. It's definitely that transfer of having that in either language helps support the other language and make those connections as well. So even for our students that are Spanish dominant students, when they're hearing the connections of their primary language, the phonics, the phonemic awareness in their primary language, it helps them to understand and acquire the English language much faster if they have a solid foundation and solid mastery of that, and vice versa. For our English learners who are have a solid mastery in English sounds, or EOs that have a solid mastery in English sounds, it helps boost and speed up the process of them acquiring the Spanish sounds.
And I want to apologize. I know it wasn't too much time, so we definitely encourage you to continue to read, and maybe, Tina, maybe we can create a special little time module or within the other modules to revisit this article. This is, again, by far one of the best articles. And so it's great that you guys are finding some love for it. And then the other piece too, Crystal and Gisela knows too, there are, Gisela and Michelle, of course, there will be, because of this reason, because the curriculum is not, although we do as a district, we do try to support fully purchasing all of the core and supplemental material that is available for dual immersion programs. It's still not quite what we need a lot of the times. And so you will find yourself having to recreate somewhat of like the wheel sometimes. And so for that reason, when we really get in depth with the funding part of it, you will see that this is going to ring true to why we need some development days and some hourly compensation because of this reason. And assessment, there's curriculum that will have to be designed specifically for this. And so at the moment, we have a pretty new model as to how US teachers will be compensated, but throughout the years, we have found ways in which we can compensate teachers for doing this, developing things that are not available. So you will find that, but you will also find the supports that go with it.
Okay. Chris, anyone want to continue or go to the next point of what was discussed in your group?
I think I read off pretty much what we had discussed.
Okay. Okay.
But if anyone else wants to throw something in.
So some of the ahas, all the legislation and reforms was a good.
Yeah, I thought that was a good review to, like, you know, remember the history, because I know you had given us bits and pieces, and as a parent, you know, who went to some of these meetings, you know, on site, you know, I saw you display them, but you went into further detail, which is in the article, I assume as well, within the first 2 pages. I mean, knowing the benefits of being bilingual, I mean, majority of us in this meeting, we all know the great benefit of it. You know, it's just, there's so many connections that are made when you're bilingual, linguistically, literally, and biliterally. But one thing that I talked about in terms of questions, which I think is something that, as the culture of the school is so important, and this DLI program started in such a beautiful campus with an administrator who's giving you, not only the administrator, the staff, the instructional coach. I mean, since I've been there, there's been 2 different ones, and I lost Tina.
You didn't lose me. I'm still there.
But every single, I mean, Vasquez was there before, and Tina, and like you guys are in absolutely good hands. And then Mrs. Williams is absolutely awesome, even though she doesn't know the language. She's like, I'm here. What do you need?
Go get her.
She's like, what? But one thing I have to say though that we did struggle in the fact of balancing, you know, like Michelle was saying, there's so much going on in our campus, which is beautiful, right? But then that's the challenging part, because it takes time to develop this double language, you know. So that, I have to say, I just have to put it out there. That's why I said school-wide curriculum. I mean, oh no, never mind. That was something else. I thought I put on there. I guess I got busy talking.
The question.
The culture, you know, like how to, you know, we do a good job of trying to integrate, but that's above and beyond too. Like if you do tutoring, if you want to bring culture in, like, you know, Bertha, by the grace of, she like did Flocorico, and that's something that's part of the culture, just a little bit, you know, of the culture of like bringing something in, but that's extra. That's not even talking about, you know, like anything that you're doing in the classroom. So it's heavy. It's beautiful, it's meaningful, but of course, if you have your team work together, then it doesn't feel as heavy, you know. I have to say though, working on the schedule of things, you know, like it's heavy busy all year long for DLI. So just being flexible, but finding the time to make it all fit and not drive yourself nuts. So take a deep breath, you know, and prioritize. That's why I kept telling Bertha, like, we can't do it all. So we got to prioritize what we're doing.
Absolutely. And, you know, this is a great support. You know, this whole team is a great support. And you know, throughout the year, we'll offer that time to do the vertical and the horizontal articulation. And then, of course, with Denny at the site with the PLCs, you're hearing what the majority of the team is wanting and what the essentials are for the team. And then you all have to kind of fit in and as close as possible do exactly what they're doing, but plus you have kind of that added piece of, well, you know, this phonics vowel team is not the same in Spanish, so while they're doing that, we're going to be closely monitoring and getting our students mastered at this, you know, something, just kind of making your tweaks as a little DLI partnership, you know, within the grade level as well. So
yeah, that was awesome when Williams, that vertical articulation, not only that, like when we really got to the essentials and Williams and the 4th grade team, and I'm sure it went down similar for all the other grade levels, you know, we went in there like, okay, these are the essentials, you know, and then let's look at the data, let's look at the test, you know, and what is inside this test, what is scoring higher, or what, you know, the number of questions being asked about this standard. That was amazing. Like we took that and that helped us like basically till this day doing distance learning, like what we're zoning in, because we want our 4th graders, at least those 13 kids that are doing the work,
right,
you know, to be ready, you know, as ready as they can be for 5th grade, you know. So Williams did an amazing job doing those articulations and getting it all up there.
And I love what you just mentioned, Gisela. That's such a key point. And as we were researching the very first year, before we even opened the very first year of research, that's something that we very much noticed, the culture piece, and they're really relating, being able, there is a craft in relating to what like traditional 4th grade, 5th grade, 3rd grade, whatever grade is doing, and then really being able to collaborate and fit well, as opposed to always saying like, it is different. Obviously it is different because we're teaching 2 languages rather than 1. But I love what you just mentioned, Gisela, that you guys work together with the whole entire 4th grade team and you found some common ground and you're like, okay, well, we definitely need these same skills. We want all of 4th grade kiddos to end up with these strong skill sets, and so let's work towards it, whether we're in a DLI class or whether we're in traditional class. And that's something definitely that is going to take us a very long way when we're working together and we're saying, yep, we are getting, it's almost like looking at a road, at a freeway, and we all have different ways of getting there, but we also have the same end goal. And so thank you, Gisela, for sharing that, because that just is so beautiful to know that you guys are working and collaborating and having the same goal in mind, but at the same time doing it different, because you guys are, yeah, your kiddos are learning 2 different languages.
Mm-hmm. And then to close it out, because I know I just see we're over our time already, but great discussion, talking points. Somebody was, or the group was wondering or curious about wanting to continue reading about instructional strategies. And, you know, as for myself, I know that a lot of, you know, every strategy, just like with anything, any strategy, a best practice strategy or research-based strategy, brain-based strategy, they are the same with any group. So what works for a non-DLI group is definitely going to work just as well for a DLI group. It's just a matter of, there goes your tweak. How are we going to put this in the academic vocabulary of our Spanish, right? So we hope to continue to support you with that. And if you find anything, or you've tried something that you want to share with the team moving forward, please let us know. We love to do these little slams. We do this for bilingual facilitators and reclassifiers, but it's just like a quick little slam, like, hey, I tried this, or I saw this, another teammate of mine did this. How, can I share this with, the rest of the DLI team? And for sure, we'd love for you guys to also support each other that way when you know that you found something that really works. And in regards to the question, the school-wide curriculum, I'm not sure what the exact question is, but I believe it's module 4 that we're going to be getting involved and going a little deeper with the curriculum that is purchased and available for DLI. So when we get to that point, we'll definitely be kind of sharing out what's available, and then within those pieces of curriculum, what are the DLI specific supports that you may or may not know about, because with any curriculum there's gazillion pieces to it, right? Even with Wonders. Now we have Wonders and we have Maravillas, and within those there are some things that you might have in Wonders that you'll find you don't have the same resource in Maravillas because it doesn't translate well. But we'll go ahead and get into detail on that. I believe it's module 4. Does anybody have any other questions or anything that you'd like to share up?
I just want to thank you ladies for doing these modules. I think that's a great idea as this program continues to grow. I mean, I have so much faith that it's going to be successful, but it's going to take all of us together to get it to work and get it refined, I really appreciate these modules because it's giving me a time to like get reinformed and educated and review material. And if I could share what I've learned this year with others, that's phenomenal. And if I can learn from you guys too, anything you might know, Crystal or Sochi, anything that, oh, well, this works on, like Tina just said, any good strategy is good strategy no matter what language, as long as, of course, you're going to have to adapt it to this language, the DLI model. But I want to thank you ladies. I don't know who started it or if this is just a new, because we're getting bigger.
It's getting bigger, and Gisela, you all started this. You guys.
We requested it, right?
We saw that there was a need for it. You said, it'd be nice if we can get, some professional development, and we thought, you know what, we are getting so much bigger now, and everybody's coming in at different times, and sometimes 2 grade levels. Like your instance, you had 2 new teachers, Gisela, and so you tended to connect together and maybe didn't have an opportunity to having already somebody else that has been in the program in your grade level. So you 2 were doing it, you rock star teachers that you are, and you did it, you survived, and we try to support as much as possible, but really it was just like, we got to get started.
I'm just blessed that I knew Bertha from Rainbow Ridge, and I'm just blessed that she listens to me, and if we linked a long time ago, and like, keep my eye on her. But it is really a marriage come true, and like we're literally husband and wife. We totally got each other's back, but you got to have that. That's important too, ladies, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
and really bond each other, understand each other, and listen to each other, and hear where you're coming from, because boy, have we learned a lot too during this distance learning. Like there's stories we can talk about later. Like, wow, jumping right into a new program, and I got a little bit of heat with one of my parents, like, how dare you? But it was for the common good of like, okay, this is gonna make this work during this distance learning, and now everybody loves it. But anyways, that's a different story.
Well, and good news, Crystal, you will have Michelle, and she's been in the program for a couple of years now, and as well as Sochi with Marcos. You guys will be able to have kind of that support system of somebody
it's
that's
backwards,
already,
girl. It's
backwards
So
on my back.
You'll have each other.
They really have all of us. I mean, come on. If we're upper grade, I mean, it's really all of us. And I started feeling that, with Michelle and Velasco when we did that vertical articulation. It's all upper grade now, and I'm just happy. I'm so happy to have still Marcos on our upper grade, because he has so much to give. Michelle's amazing, with all her awesome things. Like they share everything. So it's not only them, you guys have us too. I know I
Absolutely.
speak for Bertha too.
We're all in this together. That's the
Yep.
theme, right?
Yep.
Forever, forever and always. But unless you guys have any other questions or comments you'd like to share, we just wanted to let you know that our next module is going to be this Friday at 1, and we're going to go deep into instructional minutes. This is where we're going to really be able to share with you what the teams have put together during their articulation times, as far as what are we doing during English, what are we doing during the Spanish minutes, and we'll get a little deeper in that so that you kind of have some knowledge, some background knowledge moving forward as you're developing your lessons over the summer, which I'm sure you guys are probably going to end up doing, right? To prepare for the fall or the summer, whoever knows when school is actually going to start officially, right? So anybody, before we go out and peace out, anybody last minute comments or questions, concerns? All right. Well, thank you all so much for still, taking even over your time to be with us today. We hope that the information and just the time to kind of empty the cup and just get all of your thoughts and questions out during this time is helpful to you, and it's also helpful to us. So if you feel like there's anything more that you're just really dying to know, that will of course help us build better professional development moving forward for you and for future DLI teachers that will be blessed to have in the future. So thank you. Hopefully you can go eat your lunch now. Love you guys. It's been a pleasure working with you
Bye,
already.
ladies.
Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Bye.